All right, back at Connie's house, we're dealing with more of this black clay soil. And before we install any plants, we're going to amend this clay soil. The first thing we're going to use is this expanded shale. Think about this like miniature lava rocks. It's very porous, it's very water absorptive, and it'll let go of the water easy too. And when it does, we're going to have some air. This is important because clay particles like to align themselves very flatly, like dishes stacked on top of each other. When we rototill this into clay soil, now you think about like we've added marbles between those dishes. Now we've got pore space, we've got air, and that's what we didn't have before. That's what this does for us.
And I recognize this. This is good old compost. Look at that.
Roger, we call this black gold. This is the stuff of life. This has soil biology, has the food they eat, and we're going to incorporate this, also help us retain water in the clay soil.
Now, if we were just going to plant the natives, we could plant them right in this black soil without prepping the soil at all. But what this allows you to happen is to add other plants and even annuals, and they'll grow like crazy.
That's
Precisely.
wonderful.
So how do we get started?
Well, first thing we're going to do, we're going to break this black clay soil up a little bit. Roger, while we finish forking, why don't you get after it with that rototiller? We're going to till this expanded shale into a depth of about 6 to 8 inches. And after we get through with that, we're going to incorporate the compost to a depth of about 4 inches. And Connie, when we get this spread out, if you'll come back, just kind of smooth it out for us, make it easier to till. Roger, Connie's asked for a hardscape feature in her bed here. We're going to put a dry creek bed. Here in Texas, we have a lot of creeks that don't flow year-round. It's a natural occurrence here, so it also breaks up the landscape a little bit, gives it some eye appeal. So
you're going to use the hose to do the layout?
Absolutely. It's a great template because it's easily movable. We haven't worked the dirt at all, and if we don't like what we see the first time, we can change it. So we're just lay it on the ground and find the line that we want, bend it around.
This looks great. That's a great curve.
It's going to end right underneath this downspout, so when the water comes out, it'll hit the stone and not erode the bed. So you happy with that?
That's wonderful.
We're good to get started.
Connie, we're going to pull this down about 4 inches. So if you'll just work from that midline back. The stream bed is going to be a natural depression, so that's what we're recreating here. It's going to be below grade of the bed.
The next step is to line our dry riverbed with this soil separator. Now this is going to keep the soil from mixing in with a stone, so it'll keep it all nice and clean. Just work it the whole length. Leave yourself a little overlap. Well, that just about wraps up our dry riverbed. I think we're finally ready for some plants.
All right,
Sounds good
let's
to
go.
me.
Connie, the next step, installation, is fairly straightforward. What you want to do on this now is dig a hole about 1 inch wider than the root ball. And the main thing is don't plant it too deep. You want to leave this plant about 1/2 inch high out of the ground. Kind of take it out and place it in, see if you got the right depth. That's actually a little too deep. See right there?
Okay.
I want a little high in the hole, so I just push a little dirt back in. Now see how that sets?
Mm-hmm.
We're about maybe 1/2 inch above the soil line. That's just perfect. Just backfill right there. Connie, we're going to plant this coreopsis next. But look at that, before we can, we're going to have to do something with these roots. This plant is root bound. That means it's been in this pot a long time, and what happens when the roots hit the edge, they start turning and they're going to actually girdle this plant. So we're going to have to do something to stop that. All you got to do is just take your plant and just score the root ball straight down. It's going to stop that root from growing in a circle, and they're going to now start going straight out. Also on the bottom, just want to cut an X just like that. And then you're ready to go in the hole, just like we did.
Great.
Check our depth. That's perfect. And just backfill. Connie, we got everything planted. The next step in the process is to put some mulch down. What I've chosen for your yard is hardwood mulch. The reason I like this is because it's native to the area. Our biology recognizes it. And I don't like pine bark, what you had down before, because that floats away. And again, it's not native to this area. There's no pine trees around here. Mulch is going to moderate soil temperatures and keep good soil moisture here. Plus, our biology, soil biology, they like a moist, cool environment. It's going to help them out as well.
Great.
What we're looking for is about 2 inches thick. And one very important thing, don't ever let your mulch touch your plant right there. The reason for that is this mulch holds water like a sponge. if it holds it next to that plant, you can start having some fungal issues. So right up next to it, but don't touch it ever. Connie, everything's installed. We've got it all mulched. Now all I got to do is give it a good drink of water. Keep supplementally watering it for about a year or two. And after that, it should be able to live off just what rainfall we get.
Well, Randy, Roger, this is a show place you've given us. Thank you so much.